Happy Monday, YouTube. It's Philip Wilkerson back with another episode of Random Ramblings of Philip Wilkerson. The Redskins got that W yesterday against the Packers, so we're looking pretty good. Two victories after a tie from my London trip, so not much to complain about. And we got the Cowboys up next on Thursday, Thanksgiving, Turkey Day. So hopefully we can be grateful for a Redskin win. So um, last week I asked, my YouTube followers, my 5 YouTube followers, shout out to like Hillert and Sam Nang and the people that actually watch my channel. And I asked them to, for this episode, to submit questions. I'll do a little Q&A, just trying something different. And so I got some questions from people off YouTube and Facebook. And I think I'm just going to go through and answer some of them real quickly. I know some of these questions may have deeper answers, but I want to save that for my podcast, which is coming out sometime in January. And I'm working on that right now with lots of support and help from friends that are a little bit more technical than I am. So that's coming soon. So I'm going to get into these questions. All right, so I got my first question from Sam Nang. He asked, who is your top 5 people that inspire you? So obviously I have a lot of inspiration from people in my everyday life. So when I reached this question, I read this question, I was going to go focus on people that are famous because, obviously I didn't want to leave people out in my everyday life that inspire me and didn't hurt any feelings. So here's some five people. Big Crit, most slept on rapper. He's my favorite artist of all time. There's very rarely that an artist, musical artist, actually write songs that actually speak to you, and his music is just my favorite, and I love seeing him in concert. One of my favorite songs by him is The Vent. Check him out. Most of his mixtapes on Dat Piff are better than his actual commercial albums, so he's a really good artist. I have Martin Luther King. I know that sounds like a generic answer, but he's a great inspiration. I think currently right now when I'm working on how I speak, I think he is probably one of the best speakers in American history for me personally. Every year on Martin Luther King Day, I know I should probably do this more often, I listen to his speeches on iTunes, and it still today resonates with the things he says, and the way that he could actually convey a message was just amazing, and I think that's something he inspires me to learn or practice my speaking. I'm not going to be a public speaker like him in front of thousands of people, but he's just someone that inspires me. Bruce Lee, he's just a man. I used to have a huge Bruce Lee poster over my bed in my dorm room, and when I moved out of my apartments in college, unfortunately, wifey said that picture couldn't come with us, but he's just amazing. His philosophy on life, his training, his discipline. He's just an awesome guy. Brandon Lilly, he's a powerlifter. If you're not familiar with him, I follow him on YouTube as well. And he came back from a really nasty, devastating injury. I'm working on a little small neck thing right now with the hopes of getting back into lifting and stuff. And if he can come back from how devastating, hurting both his knees and just destroying his knees, I think that he gives me inspiration to keep going. And I look at his YouTube. He does the same thing. I kind of copied him, sitting in the car and talking to people, and he's great. And then I think lastly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lastly is Peyton Manning. He's my favorite quarterback, and I just think that the way he approaches the game, he's very organized. He's way more organized than I am in my normal day life. I think that he's, just someone I draw inspiration from. Okay, so I got another question, Jess Clemente. She said, one major purpose that keeps your mindset positive. I think the one major purpose of that is that, for me, having a positive outlook not only affects me, but affects others. And so you never know that the one interaction that you have with someone, if you're negative, that could just affect their day. I think that being positive maybe might just help one person. So that's just kind of my main aspect of it. Just that, like, me being a positive person might have a positive influence on at least one other person during their day. And so that's what keeps me going. Okay, so Hos He's from CrossFit Annandale. He said, how do you deal with questions about raising children in a multiracial, cultural, lingual household in 2006? And as how do we identify our own children and how do we introduce those concepts? Um, so I mean, my son is just almost 2, so obviously I'm not having very detailed conversations, but I think that um, inadvertently, I think that what I can do right now is show him as being involved as a father, introducing a positive black role model in his life. That will shape that aspect. And then my wife being a white woman, showing positive influence in his life will shape his identity of how he relates to those two races. I think that as he gets older, we'll just expose him to different cultures. Take him to an African American museum in D.C. or on St. Patty's Day, since his grandmother is Irish, introduce him to some Irish customs. I think just introducing customs and traditions from both cultures will work. I think in the terms of being bilingual, um, Maria, who takes care of him, is Hispanic, and she speaks to him in Spanish. And I'm not good at Spanish, but I think that as he gets older, I think that's something I want to continue. Maybe we can learn it together. Give that one more attempt. I studied Spanish in high school and college, and I just never. I think I never brought it into my home and made it a personal attempt. But maybe through Bennett together we can do that. And so that's probably some other aspect. And then outside of him, exposing him to different cultures, different people, different cultures. My friends of different cultures, and having him being exposed to people of different cultures will help him just know the world is a bigger place than just his little bubble of Northern Virginia. Justin, how do you handle the transition from working as Steve Urkel on Family Matters into a working father? So as you can see, I'm not getting any royalty checks. Today I'm on my Steve Urkel. Some days I'm my Stefan Urkel. I don't know, reruns. That's how I get money to be Steve Urkel. That's how I'm working on it. All right, Kevin Ma, why is the sky blue? So I know he was just joking, but hey, I took it as an opportunity to find out why the sky is blue. Shout out to Google, and the answer I got is a clear, cloudless daytime sky is blue because molecules in the air scatter blue light from the sun more than they scatter red light. When we look towards the sun at sunset, we see red, orange colors because blue light has been scattered throughout and away from the line of sight. So hey, there you go. I learned something new. Shout out to Kevin. Ann Snee says, how being a parent changed you, and or what about being a parent has surprised you from what you expected? Hashtag parent life. I think the main thing, okay, the thing I expected about being a father was that I was very excited to be a father. I think that was something I was looking forward to. I think this was, like a role in my life that I actually embraced and was ready for. Because I knew I wanted to have a little person in my life, someone that I can help raise. What surprised me is that I'm still chaotic, chaotic as in like disorganized. I literally can't tie my shoes. I lose my keys all the time. Can't find my wallet. But something about when it comes to Bennett, I can switch it on and be a little bit more organized for him. And I think that surprises me. Surprised me that I haven't lost him, in like a public place or something, because I really, with Bennett, I focus really hard at being good at paying attention and being present with him. And so I think that surprises me, and I think that's something that I want to take that and use it in other aspects of my life, is trying to be organized, and I think that surprises me. So Molly Makovac Waldeck, she hit me with a couple questions. I'm only going to hit one because obviously we're going through. She said, "What are your feelings about New Year's resolutions?" Uh, I think they're great and not great at the same time. I think they're great because obviously some people set a date or start date to start a goal, and then they kind of try to keep themselves committed in the new year and that new year, new me hashtag or whatever. But I think the only problem is that, like, if you are only waiting to New Year's to start, resolutions or doing goals, you're using, like, you're kind of enabling yourself and pushing it off. Like, what if you say I'm gonna start in the new year, and it's like July, you want to wait 6 months to start a goal? And so my mindset is like, if you're really adamant, I think if the new year's about to approach, then it's good to have like a start date for your goals. Like, I'm gonna start a New Year's. But if it's something you really, really want to do, I don't think you should wait to New Year's. I think you should say, hey, this is something I really want to work on, and I'm gonna go at it, and I'm gonna do it today, or next week, instead of pushing off those goals because you're gonna wait to New Year's. And Hillard, my best man, my best friend. Actually, he was my best man at my wedding. He hit me with multiple questions, which I'll save for next time. I'll hit another question, but I'm gonna pick one that really stood out to me. And he said, "What actions can someone take if failure of a goal occurs?" So I think, goals. You're not gonna hit every goal, and I think the main thing is about self-awareness and reevaluation of why that goal didn't happen, and being very honest with yourself. Like, maybe I said I was gonna, lose weight, but obviously I self-sabotaged myself and didn't hold to my little small weekly goals. And I think that you just take it as a lesson and then you implement it for future instance. Um, Obviously, I haven't hit a lot of goals in my life that I want, and I have them written down, and I remind myself that those are goals, and then I reevaluate why that goal was unsuccessful, and then I go about it and try to figure out readjustment. Like, goals are not concrete. Nothing is concrete. You can always readjust them as you see fit, and then see what you can do next time to change those goals. So that's how you can do if when you fail one of your goals, is kind of readjust, evaluate why you didn't do well in that goal, set new goals, and then try again. I mean, obviously, you have plenty of times. It's not like you're one shot deal failure. You can attempt your goals more than once. So I think I really enjoyed that. I definitely would do this again. Use some of these questions, the multiple questions. Leave me some questions or comments, maybe for my next rambling. This is a little bit longer than I expected, but it's because y'all gave me some really good questions this time, and I really appreciate that. And I want to say thank you to all the people that have been following along. I know that my content on my YouTube channel, I said to people that I was going to lift and do some different things, and that's maybe one of my goals, is to get back to doing a little bit different variety content. Right now, I can't lift as much or lift like I want to. So one of my projected goals or new goals is for the new year, when I get clear to start introducing powerlifting again, is to track my progress on my next meet. And that's going to be a big goal for me. I think one of my goals is to actually be able to do a powerlifting meet by next summer, safely, and just take my time. So I really appreciate it. If you like these videos or random ramblings, like and subscribe. If you have any more questions for me, hit them up in the comments of the Facebook post when I drop this, or the YouTube comments. And thank you so much, and have a nice day.